So what does that have to do with me? Right? It has nothing to do with me. I had to tell myself that. But I'm the dad. So I'm watching my son. I'm like, I'm going, is this the optimal position for my son to be in? I'm just being real. Is it optimal for my son to be in? And it's like, what's great though is he took a lot of heat off of me because,
Who
and a
did?
couple of the
Your
kids
kid did? Who took a lot of heat
yeah,
off you?
yeah, I took a lot of because I don't care who you are. Your kid is your kid. You're going to worry, right? You're going to worry. You're going to be concerned. You want the best. That's just the reality, right? If you don't, you probably shouldn't have kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, of course, I want him to be. I would like him to be drafted first overall in the OHL. I would have liked him to be drafted the first overall in the NHL. I would like him to sign a ELC as soon as he got drafted, and I would like everything to go in place because it's his dream and play just give me 10 to 15 years of a good $8 million a year. I'll be real happy for him.
Yeah.
And I would like it without any adversity, without any hard things. Play on a winning team, play your best game every single game. That's what I want for my kid. That's what I would love for him to have. Right. But that's not what is going. So now, or what's happening right now. So like now as a dad, you sit there and because it's not youth hockey anymore. It's like, this is actually how he wants to make his living. And I feel so helpless.
Yeah, I see.
So as much as a lot of people would say, like, you could talk to your kid or everything about hockey and all this stuff, it's like, I know stuff and I know what I could say, but guess what? It's not my position anymore. I'm kind of helpless. The only thing I could do is if he asks or if I have that weaned on a dill pickle look, he might go what, or he'll know or whatever. But I've said for years, I said, I don't want to be your coach. I want to be your dad. So it's harder now because it's like it's adversity coming from left, right, center, and up the ass. Like they can't escape it. So totals, his numbers aren't where they should be. Because the team is struggling so much. It looks like I could question: are you actually playing as well as you could? But he is, and so are the other guys. Like, but there's so many things to make up and stuff, right? But the great thing is he comes out after the game. So they took a beating the last 2 weekends, especially this last weekend. They were in every game, but the scores don't indicate that. So it weighs on you because your kid's like, okay, is it hurting his prospects of being a pro? Right, you're losing, right? You're not playing well. So all these things go through your head. So after the game, he comes out and he's fuming about the loss. He comes out like, and I go, how you making out? He goes, I know I'm playing really good. I said, okay, I'm glad you know that because you're playing great. And he goes, we got to just turn this around. And it wasn't like, this is what I loved about it. It's not just get me out of here. Because that's the go-to a lot of times. As soon as things go south, it's like, okay, fix this. How do we fix it as we get out? And him and some of the leaders on that team are looking at, how do I solve this? How do I solve it? So his mental state is good. Like, no one likes to lose, loves his coach, loves the team, loves the city, loves everything about it. And his solution is, how do we fix this? So for me as a dad, I sit there and I go, okay, I think this is good because my wife and I have done something well. At the end of the day, because hockey's the hardest thing he's ever going to do in his life, to be a pro, and he's going to work his ass off at it, and there's going to be ups and downs, and he's had his adversity, right? He's had his shit sandwiches, quite a few of them, but he keeps trucking, and he does it with a smile on his face. But the attitude is right, which I'm really proud of, like so proud of, and he still has. And the other thing is, what I'm really proud of is that he still has the conscientiousness or the respect for what else is going around. So when you come out of a rink after, like a lot of people that are fans or family don't realize that what it actually is. It's like you're everything. A loss or an average game, you're not in a good mood, right? It sits with you. So he'll still come out and sign an autograph or say nice things to people, and then he'll talk to us and he goes, okay, I gotta go talk to these people here. But goes over the good attitude and which I'm so proud of, right? Because and not just him. There's guys on his team that they're so good to the fans and people that wait around for just to say hi and have their jersey and stuff. And it's like, that's when you start looking at going, okay, that's the game's the game, and whether this works out or not is good. But when you look at it at the end of the day, you go, "That's the human I wanted to raise."
Nice.
And not just him. Like there's other kids
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
team,
for sure.
good people, and then you start looking at the parents, and you go, "That's why I can see why your kid's such a good kid, competitive but nice and respectful, and they get it." So to me, it's that and the culture of the team. They have a good culture, so it's like that's very nice. So in the shit sandwich, it's still good.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always a way to find a good, man.
Yeah. I love that because it's you know what I love when we have these conversations too because it is seriously like we would just talk about this stuff anyways. Like these are you like people here are exact conversations that we normally have anyways. And like an hour ago when we're talking, you basically were saying the same stuff to me in the same way. And it makes it real. Like you're actually a hockey dad going through it and you have the same hockey dad feelings that all the hockey dads have and you get it. You just are fortunate that you have the perspective of being through the game and having experienced it. So that can help shape how you behave and what action steps you actually take. But like I'm sure it's nice for people to hear that you just listed all the same feelings that all of them probably have when they go and watch their kid and then hearing how you manage it and deal with it and work through it makes it super real, man, which is cool. So
Yeah. Well, it is real. Like you can never. I'd hate to sit here and say like I got everything figured out when it comes to this hockey thing. It's like it's an emotional game to start with, but like as a parent, like you like to guide, right? Even with students or whatever, you like to guide. You like to give them good advice. You like to put them in places where they can succeed and learn the lessons and all the things that you want to do as a parent. And then you get to this thing, and your kid's 16 to 20 years old, and they're still formidable, formidable years, right? Moldable, malleable. What's another word? I don't. These are years that are important, and they still need mom and dad,
yeah,
but they don't think they need mom and dad until they need you. And there's so many spots where you can be overbearing, and I was a couple weeks ago, like about 3 weeks ago.
yeah, you're telling me.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't want to say it on
No,
here
no, that's
because
fine.
it's personal to him, and
Yeah, yeah.
but I was like, gave him the dude, and then I rewatched a game, and I never do this, and I rewatched a game, and I said, you know what, call me when you can. I have to apologize. So he goes, no, don't worry about it. I said, no, 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 no. So I called. I said, you know what, that's not me. You know, that's not me. It's me. It was my ego here. That was my ego talking last night. I said, all the like, and I said I had other stuff going on in life that was like just driving me crazy, and it was like probably came to a head with the effort from the team that it looked like, oh come on guys, like this is gonna be a long year, and my son, like the way he played was like good, but like I said it's fine, but it's not where it needed to be, and it all came to a head, and then I said I have. So he's like, no, Dad. I said, no, 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 no. That's not me. You don't deserve that. That's the hardest game in the world. There's ups and there's downs. And I said, I have no business ever doing that to you again. It wasn't that bad. But like, I'm going to sound like I took him outside, locked him in the car, beat the shit out of him. No, no, I just,
Oh,
right?
you
No,
did? Oh, you didn't
no,
do that?
right. But it was like, I let him know that it was like, I told him a couple things and it was like, nice, nice. And it bothered me.
You told me right after, man. I
It
know you were
bothered
saying it was
me till
bugging you right away.
even when I saw him the following week, it bothered me, and I grabbed him and I said, "I can never ever do that to you again, ever, ever." He goes, "Dad, it was nothing." I go, "No, no, 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 no. I'm your dad, and I'm your biggest fan. I'll be always be honest with you, but like that was like where the line that I don't like to cross." Because it was like legit, and I think that's an ego check for every parent is when you're watching your kid play or they're not succeeding the way you want, or you don't think the effort is there the way you want, or whatever those things, he's not getting treated fairly, is just go inside and go look in that mirror and ask, like, who is this really about? Who is this really about? Is it you, or is it for your kid? Because if you realize, at the end of the day, my son and every son, daughter, whatever that dream is that you have, you either want it or you don't. And that's period. and either you're good enough or you're not. But if you really, really want, you're going to do whatever it takes. And sometimes parents want to control how much effort and stuff goes into it, but it's like it's out of your control. It's out of your control. I would just say watch your children play, nudge them the right ways, but you got to let it go and not let your ego get inflated because it's easy, right? It's easy, especially if you have a good game. And I think we talked about this the other day. Maybe it wasn't you, but it was someone else I was talking to. I said, the expectations we put on our kids, they're actually unreal, right? If you talk to, remember sitting in a dress in a hotel with some of the parents when I was coaching, and the one guy was talking like when we played back in the day, like he played youth hockey, he played AAA for a couple of years. He goes, that's all we ever did was practice and this and work on my shot, and then, that's all he ever did was hockey, like nothing else. And I go, I call bullshit, because when I look back and what I perceived was that's all I ever did. It wasn't all I ever did. I did it a lot, but it's not all I ever did. And the expectations is that you want your kids to just practice, 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 do, and it's like it's unreal. So like even like you look at a game, right? I think we called it a 30-30-30 or maybe something like that. It's roughly that. You're gonna have games that are your absolute best. Every 4, 5 to 6 games, you might have that game where you go unreal, like you're the best guy on the ice or like unstoppable. And then you have the game that's the total opposite, like you're dog shit. You're like horse shit. You shouldn't have played today. And then you have the majority of them where they're going to be in the middle, right? So it's not 30-30-30,
30,
right?
40, 30. Yeah.
But yeah, let's just say it's whatever it is. It's more middle.